For some reason my ear is frozen right now, but oh, there we are. Howdy there, Unnatural 20. She's actually done it. She's actually used a picnic set. Oh damn. Shit's getting real. Hello there. Just saw a Blue Nerdy and Hereby Coraline. Yeah. I have I've already beaten this game before myself. I'm just playing it again for a charity fundraiser. But yeah, this is my favorite game ever currently. It's just absolutely, the ending of this game is phenomenal. Like, the final boss music is the best ever. The final boss fight is the best ever. Oh, no spoilers, of course. Yeah. Of course. I'm just saying, like, it's phenomenal. Just when it rides off into the sunset, it's just absolutely incredible. Yes, Beatrix Quinns. She's well, they're actually doing a physical release for the soundtrack. It's on yeah, on vinyl and CD. The Turtle Pal tapes, folks. I already pre-ordered it on CD. I may double dip and go for the vinyl if it's still available. But yeah, absolutely incredible game. Like, I think a lot of people have a similar experience of it, where it goes from being like this cute, fun game to being like, what is this? Like, is this actually like going to stick the landing? And it absolutely does. And it's gotten even better like with the updates, because I played this at release, like the first week. You know, I bought it day one, and like, I wasn't following the development of it. I just saw it on Steam a couple of months before it came out, and then I was like, yeah, this looks really cute. And then when it, you know, I wishlisted it on Steam, forgot about it, and then I circled back around to it when I got the email from Steam saying, Super Lesbian Animal RP just released off of your wishlist. And I was like, I had forgotten about it, so I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I looked at it again and I was like, let me keep an eye on this. And then I looked at the user reviews later in the day and I was like, oh, this is actually like a really good game, apparently. So then I bought it, did my, first video on it, and I was like, this game's hilarious. Then I just impulsively kept playing it, and I got to the dockside scene with Melody and Allison, and I was like, okay, this just went from being like a really fun, cute game to just being like transcendentally like fantastic. I don't know how else to put it. Like, just all of the complimentary descriptions that you can put on this game fit it. It's beautiful, it's hilarious, it's cute, it's romantic, it's fun as fuck. I played the original when it was a horse game, Super Lesbian Horse RPG, yeah, and I was a beta tester for SLRPG, so this game finally releasing after 7 years was so fucking hyped for me, I lost my mind. Yeah, it lives up to the hype, absolutely. I have not played Super Lesbian Horse RPG yet. That was actually one of the milestones for Queers Fight Transphobia that I got, we already hit that milestone. So, yeah, that... so I will be streaming the full Super Lesbian Horse RPG, in July. So technically this month, because it's 12:13 in Eastern, which is my time zone. So I'm finally gonna actually circle back and actually try that. It is very difficult to get your hands on a copy of it, but I did find a copy of Super Lesbian Horse RPG still in the wild, so yeah, and then I just became like a huge fan of the game, and then I got my name from it. I don't know how else to put it, to just say just how profound an effect it had on me, as someone who, again, just came into it with, I did not have low expectations for it at all, but I had, just like the expectations of this is going to be a fun, cute, queer game. And then it just consumed my existence. Just absolutely just became a huge part of my personality. I will be ending the stream shortly to head over to Girl Stream Team, since they're my friends and they're gonna be doing their next stream for tonight. But yeah, I'm gonna finish up with getting into the this dungeon first, but I will keep saying I'll keep conversing while I have things to say, and then once I run out of things to say, I'll set up the raid for GST. But yeah, like, that's actually this game is how I found out about them, because they I saw their streams for it, or the VODs for it on YouTube, and then I was like, oh cool, I want to talk with more people who've played the game. At the time, I did not think I was trans, so I thought it would be cool to talk with people who, you know, are. Now it's evident that that wasn't completely true. Oh, awesome, hereby, Coraline. But, yeah, I really need to do more stuff with SRPG on, because on Twitch, I obviously I mostly do just like the Twitch side of things just for fun, and also just for people's convenience, so that people can kind of watch wherever they want to. But YouTube is where most of my stuff is. Like, I've been doing a lot of shorts with it and a lot of videos on it, but I've been trying to, you know, do more with SLRPG just because it means so much to me, and I just want to share it, you know, with as many people as I can. And I do think the YouTube side is probably more likely to get the game in front of more eyeballs, as opposed to the Twitch side, where it's mostly going to people finding me because of the game. But yeah, I'm also going to be playing through the game with my girlfriend, so that's gonna be nice. I'm also gonna be trying to, you know, talk until we get over the 2-hour mark, just because, you know, I like big round numbers. When it comes to streaming and just being like, yeah, I did it for 2 hours. But, that being said, and yeah, like, the music, the soundtrack for this game is absolutely 10 out of 10 phenomenal. I'm still percolating on which are my favorite tracks, because they're all so good. I don't think it's necessarily a spoiler to say some of the track titles that are fantastic. Like Transform, Star Power, Allison's Radio, Twin Moon Dance, what's the the Space Between. That song always gets me. Like, they're all fantastic. Like, all of the songs in the soundtrack are fantastic. Those are just the ones that I consistently revisit. Yeah, just absolutely. And I want to do more like video essay type things with it as well, because again, I think it's one of these games where it deserves to be treated more seriously than a lot of established press, I'll say, have taken it. Like, usually they're just like, tee-hee, it's called Super Lesbian Animal RPG, and the furries like it, is kind of the tone, which is very dismissive, again, of a game which, bare minimum, I would say is a 10 out of 10, if not an 11 out of 10. Like, it deserves to have people trumpeting it a lot more than it does. But yeah, it's just absolutely surreal to me that the best video game ever, as far as I'm concerned, came out, and then literally like a month and a half, like a month later, you had the worst video game ever come out, and then both of them just fucking took over my life. The worst one is, of course, the Hidden and Unknown, which does not deserve to be taken seriously, but got way more attention than SLARPG did. Granted, negative attention because the game costs $2,000 on Steam and is made with quote-unquote AI, quote-unquote art, and is an incel manifesto, which opens up with an 8-minute text scroll in the vein, you know, that looks like it's ripped from Star Wars, but it's just absolutely heinous. Yes, it's also a kinetic visual novel with no character art or anything, and it still has bugs in it. It's made in RenPy, which is not a bad engine for visual novels at all. I'm not trying to shit on RenPy, but how the fuck do you do that? How do you fuck up so bad that your text breaks in a RenPy visual novel, and then you still charge $2,000 for it on Steam? I'm not kidding. You can go on there and type in Hidden and Unknown, and it's transcendentally awful. You know, if Super Lesbian Animal RPG is transcendentally, you know, amazing, then the Hidden and Unknown, it's like the there are two wolves inside you. One of them is Super Lesbian Animal RPG, and the other one is Hidden and Unknown. It is heinous. Like, it's transphobic as fuck, it's misogynistic as fuck, it has, you know, allusions to, you know, Nazi, you know, dog whistles. Like, it's... I'm not kidding when I say it's the worst video game ever made. Like, it is... As far as I'm concerned, and I hate talking in, like, objective, like, oh, this is objectively the... No, like, it is the, like, find a worse game than that. Like, you can't. There's no arguments against, you know, the Hidden and Unknown being the worst, except by fascists who are like, it's fucking funny as fuck, lol. Like, it's absolutely just piss. And obviously I did not spend $2,000 on it. I got the game from the developer like 3 months before it came out, and I didn't know it was gonna be $2,000. I just thought it would be a funny, like, let me take the piss out of, like, some fascists for, you know, for, like, my generally pretty small audience, obviously. And I just thought, you know, it's not like I'm gonna give it a platform or anything. And then, like, Kotaku and PC Gamer started talking about it and shit, and it blew the fuck up. And then my video on it, because I'm, like, one of the only 2 people who has one, then that blew the fuck up and got... It's now almost 72,000 views on it. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It, like... And a lot of people are gonna be like, well, you're platforming it still, and I'm like, no, I'm not platforming it, it's platforming me. No one's gonna go buy this. If anything, they're going to go pirate it. Which you should do if you want to play that game. Do not buy it. Granted, it will get removed from Steam soon because of the quote-unquote AI, quote-unquote art and the fact that the developer admitted to using that, because Steam is now banning those games, which is fantastic, and is like getting Al Capone on tax evasion. Like, because the game should not have been allowed on Steam anyways. It should not be allowed. This chud sent me a review copy and expected me not to blast his ass. Yes. That's a quote from my review of it, which I fucking absolutely obliterated him multiple times. Like, just the whole video, I just ripped him the fuck apart. Granted, the audio quality is not very good. Like, if I had sorted out my audio quality on it, I probably would have gotten a lot more people, like, sticking around afterwards, which I'm not complaining about. I like having a smaller channel, but, like, it's one of those videos where people can kind of, just kind of gets into people's heads, it seems. I'm just speaking on that, like, observationally. Like, that is objectively, like, the best way to experience that game, as far as I'm concerned, is watching someone rip it apart, and I'm the only one who did that. At least at the time, so... Again, like, he gave me the fucking sword to chop his head off, and then just absolutely was like, I'm not owned, you're owned. He fucking then did a goddamn Steam announcement talking about me, vaguely, but I know it's me because I'm the only one he could have been referring to. Just absolutely nonsense. Like, he exists in a parallel dimension where fucking Jordan Peterson is God. Like, he genuinely tried to pick a fight with me and fucking got destroyed. And it's like, motherfucker, I'm not, like, the biggest fish in the pond. Like, I got quoted in fucking PC Gamer just ripping your fucking ass apart. Like, they directly quoted me just absolutely fucking eviscerating him. Which, again, I don't think that's generally, like, the language I like using to talk about developers, but when it's a fucking fascist who releases a game for $2,000 fucking dollars and then tries to pick a fight with me, yeah, I will. But, it's just hilariously fucking ridiculous. And, soon it will be the hidden and unknown from Steam because it's gonna get banned, which, again, it shouldn't have been allowed on there in the first place. The fact that it was is an embarrassment to fucking every other game on Steam. Like, imagine if fucking Walmart started selling, like, goddamn teddy bears filled with cum is the comparison that Jim Stephanie Starling, came up with, and that's the one I will stick to, because, like, it is absolutely just, why the fuck is that allowed on there? Who looked at it and was like, yeah, $2,000 for this? That makes sense. Like, just absolutely, why the fuck is it allowed on? I mean, again, it's gonna get banned because he admitted to using Stable Diffusion for it. And Valve is now banning games that use Stable Diffusion and other algorithmic art, which is a better term for quote-unquote AI art, because it's not AI, it's an algorithm. AI isn't real. There is no such thing as AI in the real world. That's a science fiction concept. Like, we say it for video games because that, it's approximating intelligence. You have characters personified. but like Stable Diffusion is not a character, so it doesn't make sense to call it artificial intelligence. Because again, it's like the YouTube algorithm, but plagiarizing art. But anyways, if I go on for longer, I'm gonna like wear my voice out. But I will set the Twitch video to going to Girl Stream Team. They are streaming Bloodborne, PlayStation 1 or PSX, you know, the demake of it by Lilith Walther. Talk about games made by trans developers, by the way. They're also doing Beacon Pines, which is one of my favorite games of last year. I fucking love Beacon Pines, so they did already get past the best moment in that game, but in their last stream, but I still think like the whole game is just fantastic. But yeah, I will set that up here, and also I'll just I'll look at what y'all said in the chat here. It's like calling those little wheel thingies hoverboards. They're not hoverboards, it just sounds cooler to call it that. Same with AI. Yeah, it's also an advertising thing. It's trying to make the technology seem more advanced than it actually is, so that people get, you know, and it's also to personify it, to make it so that people will come up with stupid arguments about like, oh, how is it not art? It's, you know, just because it's not a human making it, it's an artificial mind creating it. It's trying to make it more personable so that people can, you know, come up with these annoying like sci-fi arguments, and it's like, we're not being technophobic or whatever for pointing out that this is just trying to screw over artists and artists of all kinds, because, you know, writers obviously are also getting the shit for it, and I absolutely include all writers as, you know, among artists that are trying to be, you know, targeted to have our to try having our work devalued by just rushing to the bottom of the barrel with this fucking trash. It's not, but people made it a thing because it sounds cooler than Stable Diffusion. Oops, I probably said a naughty word in my message. Possibly. I'm not. The last one I'm seeing is holy shit. But yeah, I'm also trying to just another thing I will say about SlarPG before I set up the raid is it's just, it's a game that I want to share more about, and that's how I always am with games that I like. I'm always trying to share stuff that I think is cool, but like I don't try to be negative, and that's part of why I really wish that if I had a choice in it, my SlarPG video would have gotten 71,000 views, and the like I would have traded the view counts on the SlarPG and the Hidden Unknown ones in a heartbeat. I would much rather, you know, talk about things I'm actually passionate about and care for and think are, you know, great, rather than things that I think are just should not exist. Like the Hidden Unknown, it shouldn't exist. It shouldn't be a thing, but it is, because by the grace of God, it has not, you know, its execution has been stayed by Valve. And it's not going to go up on Itch.io, because Itch.io would fucking, like, ban it in a heartbeat, too. So it's like, where else is it gonna go besides just torrent websites at that point, which it's already been on since November. Like, I'm pretty sure he sent review copies to some curators and then it immediately got torrented. So like, because it's just a Rinpai visual novel, it doesn't have any DRM or anything on it. So it's like, it probably just got cracked immediately. So like, and it's not like I'm cheering that on for, you know, independent developers who actually like made something that's special that they put their heart and soul into, even if it didn't like work out necessarily in terms of like the quality of it, you know, in the end. But like, again, The Hidden and Unknown is not a game. It's not something that a developer worked hard and put their blood and sweat and tears into. It's trying to get people to think about blood and soil and all other fucking fascist bullshit. Like, and also to whine about people, you know, changing their gender. Which again, trash. It fucking sucks. So I'm glad I got to be the executioner for it. I fucking killed that piece of shit. Like, again, like, not something I want to be known for, but if any game ever deserved to just get ripped the fuck apart, it's that one. It deserved to get pulled to pieces and just, you know, absolutely, you know, torn to shreds. And not to toot my own horn, but like, I think I did a really good job on it, you know, on that, you know, merit. Like again, I am kind of the only person who has a video on it. So it's like, because again, it's a $2,000 game and no one's actually fucking bought it. Except for like Kotaku and PC Gamer, and then they immediately refunded it. So he hasn't actually gotten paid for it. People will joke about paying, you know, actually buying it, but no one's actually done it, as far as I'm aware, so... Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tanuki-fan. Yeah. Thank God he hasn't gotten any money. Yeah. And the thing is it would have gotten banned anyways if people did what he told them. He literally told people to buy it and refund it. Which is... So there's a difference between like the games where it's like, you know, there's like that horror game which challenges you to refund it if you beat it in under 2 hours, which is a funny like gimmick, and I think that's cool. Like, I think that's funny, but with this, it's like he literally fucking encouraged people to abuse the refund system, and everything that he described people doing is literally that. Intentionally buying a game that's under 2 hours and then refunding it after beating it. So I'm not sure why the fuck he hasn't been banned for that, or the fact that he's admitted it was a troll, which is the other reason why things are supposed to get banned from Steam, according to Valve. I'm not sure why he hasn't just gotten absolutely raked over the coals. By, you know, even just for like the fact that eventually, because Valve eats the credit card transaction fees when people buy the game and then refund it. So after literally just 6 people buying and refunding it, they would have lost more off of the credit card transaction fees. So it would have gotten banned anyways for that. But again, it shouldn't have even been allowed onto Steam. Like, it's not actually like a serious game that someone tried to work on and put their heart and soul into. It's gutter trash intentionally, so to provoke people, and it deserves to get just, you know, laughed out of the room as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's not even like a fun kind of bad. It's fun to laugh at, but it's not like fun on its own terms, you know? Like, I have no respect for it. You know, big rigs over the road racing, I have respect for that game. People, you know, worked on that. Even if it's shit, it's hilariously bad. Like, Aliens Colonial Marines, they lied about and, pretended it was gonna be, like, much better than it was. They presented, like, vertical slices of it, which, you know, they, you know, manufactured, or, you know, manicured, I should say, to make it look better than it was. I have more respect for that because, like, people, again, they worked hard on it. They just didn't have the resources that they needed to. They basically got sent in to die on it. The Timegate developers, or not Timegate, Timeshift. The Timeshift developers are the ones who actually made Colonial Marines, and then got destroyed because of it. Like, I have way more respect for that because, again, people actually worked on it sincerely, even if, you know, even if the marketing of it wasn't sincere at all. Fucking Hidden and Unknown is an insincere concept executed insincerely to try ripping people off or trying to promote fascist ideology. So it's, again, no respect. Like, it deserves to burn in the fires of perdition. But anyways, again, I'll head off so that Girl Stream team can take over on this. So I will save this stream, or save this save file, and get over to my rad overlay, which I'm very happy with. I didn't make it, obviously, myself, but I did. It is one that I have the rights to use, of course. Like, fun inside information, by the way. The name of this overlay is Melody. So part of why I love it so much. So I think this is probably going to be my permanent one. But yeah, thanks to anyone who stopped by overall, you know, throughout the stream, and for anyone who's been chatting, and to Blue and Nerdy, here by Coralie, and Palm Tanuki Fint for following on Twitch. I hope y'all have a great rest of your nights, and I'll be setting the Twitch the Twitch stream over to raid my friends at Girl Stream Team, who are currently playing Beacon Pines. So yeah, cheers, and yeah, bye.